Hey guys, so in this video I'll show you how to change the wiper motor on a 2011 Chevrolet Cruze. So the first step is we're going to remove the rubber weather strip that runs across the hood. After that we're going to remove the two plastic caps so we can expose the two nuts holding down the wiper arm. Okay, so you're going to use a 15mm socket to loosen the nuts and then remove the arms. So here's a problem that you might run into. Some of the arms might get stuck, so what we're going to do is we're going to spray some penetrating fluid and then pull upwards and downwards a few times until we can get it loose. Okay, so once we got both arms loose, we're going to set them aside. Don't worry if you forget which one is which. The shorter one is the passenger side wiper, and then the longer one is always the driver's side. So the next step is we're going to remove three plastic tabs to remove the cover. So these plastic tabs are made of two pieces, so you want to get the middle one first and then reach in and grab the bottom one. You're just going to have to take a bit of time because they are a pain, they could get stuck on there. And just make sure you have your hand over them because they'll go out flying for sure. Okay, so after you remove the cover, we expose the wiper motor and the wiper linkage. So the next step is we're going to remove four 10mm bolts. So for the four bolts, the two in the middle are the same, and then the two at each end are different. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the next step is we're going to remove the connector. You want to push down in the middle with a small pick and then push outwards at both ends to remove the small white tab. And after that you press down on the black part in the middle and then you should be able to disconnect it. Okay, so the next step is we're going to remove the 12mm nut holding the wiper linkage to the motor. Okay, so since the wiper motor is loose, you're going to have to hold it down with one hand, and then so you could get that nut loose. Okay, so now there's nothing else holding the wiper motor to the wiper linkage. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray some penetrating fluid and then just hammer on this stud a bit to free the motor. Okay, so now that you got the wiper motor free, we're just going to use the metal tab from the old one, and then we're going to put that on the new connector for the new wiper motor. So to remove the tab, you just want to pry upwards to get that little notch free. And then I'm using a screwdriver, and I'm just going to tap it down because it's in there pretty tight. Okay, so the part I'm replacing it with is the original AC Delco. And all you want to do is just compare the old one with the new one to make sure they look the same and they have the same connector. Okay, so the next step is before we put the new wiper motor, we're just going to put the metal tab that we took out in the old connector, and we're going to put it on the new one. Okay, so now we're going to put the new wiper motor, and then we're going to start by attaching the 12mm nut on that stud. Okay, so you want to do the same thing as when we were taking it off. You just want to hold the wiper motor so it won't move around as you're tightening the nut. Okay, the next step is we're going to secure the metal tab that we put on the connector with the wiper motor. And on top of it all, we're going to put the wiper linkage. And then after everything is lined up, we're going to start putting back the two 10mm bolts. Okay, so you're either going to have to move the wiper motor or the wiper linkage so all the holes could line up, so you could put that 10mm bolt. Okay, and after that we're going to put the two other 10mm bolts, one on the motor and one on the arm at the other end. Okay, and after that we're going to put back the connector. First you want to put the white tab that we took off earlier, and then secure the connector. Okay, so after you secured all the bolts and put back the connector, you just want to make sure that the arm and the little pivot arm that connects to the wiper motor is straight, because that's the initial position of the wipers. Okay, and the next step is we're going to put back the plastic cover and put the 3 plastic tabs back on. Okay, and after that we're going to put back the wiper arms. And then secure them with the 15mm bolt. Okay, so like I said earlier, the arm with the longer wiper blade is the driver's side, and then the one with the shorter wiper blade is the passenger side. Okay, so another problem you might run into is the wiper not touching the windshield. That's because I secured it too early. So all you want to do is loosen the 15mm nut again, and then line it up with the bottom of the windshield, and then go ahead and tighten the 15mm nut. Okay, so now that the both arms are secured, we're just going to put back the plastic covers, and then put back the rubber weather strip, And then last step, we're just gonna check our new wiper motor, make sure everything works. Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful. And if you missed any steps, I'll have all the timestamps in the video description below.